remember where the tree was. It was pretty amazing. And one person said, I remember exactly where it is, but I can't tell you because I'm blind. that was the wisdom of Allah. Because if Pakistanis went there today, I don't know if there would be a bigger crowd at the Kaaba or a bigger crowd at the tree. You understand? So one of the wisdoms of Allah is that the tree is gone, because that would have turned into something else. People would have had branches in their house. People would have had leaves. People would have tried to dig up the root. They would have taken the dirt. All kinds of stuff would have been happening because of that tree. You know? And so, and this is actually one of the ways in which Allah protected our religion from falling into shirk, because tawheed falls into shirk over generations. That's what happened with Nuh alayhi salam. And unfortunately, at some level, that still happens with the Muslims. Muslims go to the Kaaba, and the security people check the purses and bags and everything, right? But sometimes people are very good at hiding their scissors. And they go cut out a little piece of the ghilaf Kaaba, and then they keep it in their house, and they're like, and then they make salah and weird stuff. Why? This is shirk too. Because we didn't go to worship the Kaaba. We didn't go to worship the Kaaba is just a stone. And people are hugging the Maqam Ibrahim, you know, they're hugging the thing, you know, that's why they made it spiky. Because like too many hugs going on. This is the way of the people. This is the way of pagan religions. If you notice pagan religions, they do these things, right? And Shaytan wants to introduce these practices back into Islam. And Allah did not let that happen with our religion. But some people are very adamant on bringing it back, so they'll bring it back one way or the other. In fact, there are places in South Asia today where the name Islam is there, but all the practices are Hindu. The name is Islam, but actually it's, you know, what they call in Texas lipstick on a pig, right? It's through and through it's shirk. There's nothing like close to tawheed in it. They'll be doing sajda to other than Allah. They will be making dua to other than Allah. They will be calling on multiple others to protect them and save them. هَؤُلَاء شُفَعَاؤُنَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. All the things Allah mentioned that the mushrikun would do, you can find. And those people call themselves Muslim. They're calling themselves Muslim. You can call yourself whatever you want. You know, it is, filth is filth. You could spray perfume on it, it's still filth. You know? And so this is something Allah protected our religion from, and we have to protect ourselves from it, from the smallest of these things. Unfortunately, when the real religion disappears, then it's replaced with religious artifacts. That's the fact of it. Either you have the real faith. The faith is in the hearts, right? The Sahaba had Qur'an in their hearts, right? And most of them didn't know how to read and write. And the ones who did know how to read and write, sometimes they wrote Qur'an on a bone. Sometimes they wrote it on a rock. If you were there and you saw Qur'an written on a bone, astaghfirullah, you'd put it somewhere on the top and protect it, put it in a glass case. This is what, you know, this is the ridiculousness we have done. And as a result, now the Qur'an is not in the heart, but at least it's in the rear view mirror, right? There's an Ayatul Kursi in the rear view. There's a mini mic. They have a micro mushaf. You seen the micro mushaf? You need a electronic telescope to read the micro mushaf. And you keep that in the car because, you know, you might get bad transmission if you don't have that in the car, or you don't have good airbags, so you put Ayatul Kursi and, you know. What religion is this? You know what this is? This is the same as the Christians who put a crown in the back, or they put a crucifix, they hang a crucifix. You seen those things? These are the kinds of jahiliyyah that Islam came to destroy. But you know what we did? We saw other people do this. We saw other religions do this, and we say, hey, they have that. We can have it too. اجعل لنا إلها كما لهم آلهة. The people told Fir'aun, the people told Musa alayhi salam, why don't you make us a god like those people have a god? That's what they said. Though other religions have it, we should have it too. They have amulets around their neck, we should have amulets around our neck. They tie things around their wrist, we should tie things around their wrist. They have temples, and they have saints, and they have holy people, and they have dua to them, and we should have that too. What's wrong with it? You know? And so we adopted so many of these shirky practices, and we are totally okay with it. And This is the power of our religion. Our religion is the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Ibrahim alayhi salam's the entire principle of this deen is to destroy idols, objects. Objects are not sacred. The deen is sacred. Allah is sacred. The message of Islam is sacred, right? Today, the Muslims have more respect for a piece of paper that has Qur'an on it than the Qur'an itself. This is the tragedy of our time. They don't care what the ayah says. You don't care what the ayah says. You don't care what the Qur'an is saying, but you care that it's on a piece of paper. You should put it, should I burn it? Should I rip it? This is the concern. But you're ripping up its teachings in your family every day. You don't care. You're tearing up the Qur'an with your mouth every day, with your business every day. You don't care. Doesn't matter. But we got to respect the printed copy and put it in a nice shelf and all of that. This is what we've done. Subhanallah. And I'm saying jokingly, it's a blessing of Allah that the tree disappeared. It's a blessing of Allah. Had it not disappeared, whew, man, there would have been another tawaf going on around the tree. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, So, anyway, and by the way, if Allah wants to preserve something, He will preserve it, right? If Allah wants to preserve the Kaaba, which was buried under the ground for thousands of years, and Allah restored it from the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, through thousands of years of paganism, Allah can restore it, can't He? And when Allah wants something to disappear, He'll make it disappear. If He doesn't want you to know where the Ashabul Kahf were, He won't let you know. You can go visit Turkey if you like. You can go to whatever tourist site you want. If He doesn't want you to know where the Ark of Nuh alayhi salam is, then you can go see some mountaintop and say, oh, it was over here. If Allah wanted you to know, He'll let you know. If you want to know where Ya'juj and Ma'juj are, stop trying to go to China. Dig under the wall of China, see if they're there. If He wanted you to know, you would know. People trying to do an archaeological search on the wall of Dhul Qarnayn and all this. Stop yourself. What happens in our religion? One, we go towards shirk. Two, we become obsessed with the things that Allah did not mention for that purpose. I give this, it's a silly example, but it's important for you to think about this. A teacher is giving you a lesson, right? A business class, a business teacher, right? And he's got years of experience in business, but he decided at the end when he retired, he wants to teach. So he became a professor after being very successful in business. And he's giving a lecture on business and how to run a business. Where do you open your shop? How do you choose a location? How do you decide if that's reasonable rent? How do you pick the right product? How do you pick the right sales strategy? What's your marketing strategy? This, that, the other. He's describing all of these things. And one student raises his hand and says, but what color socks does he wear every day? And the other student says, yeah, but does the shoe and the socks match, or like which? And the professor's staring at this. What are you asking me? I just gave you priceless advice of 30 years of experience, business, and I gave you the story, the scenario, and you're asking me colors of socks? This is the only thing that came in your head? You know what that means? That student who's sitting there, his parents or her parents wasted a lot of money sending this kid to school. That's what that means. Because it's not that he's stupid, but his mind is in the wrong direction. He needs some mental readjustment before he can learn. The Qur'an does mental readjustment. The Qur'an tells us there were young people in a cave. Did Allah tell us how many? No, just some people say this, some people say that. They're like, oh, some people, I want to say it too. They had a dog? What kind of dog? Was it a Chihuahua? Because that would have been really small. I don't know. Maybe, what kind of dog was it? Did it have spots on it? And there are, in our history, some people who are obsessed with this question. There are people that are going to read the story of Yusuf alayhi salam and say, well, so what happened with Zulaykha? If Allah wanted you to know what happened, you missed the entire surah, and all you got left is Zulaykha. What is wrong with you? What Qur'an? You know what we do? We read the Qur'an, and we focus on everything that is not Qur'an. And then we call it tafsir, our version. We're studying Qur'an. This is not Qur'an. This is a mockery of Allah's book. This is a mockery of Allah's book. And this is the reason I wanted to share these lessons with you about Hajj is because even the Kaaba, when I went, I try not to go too much to Umrah. It's a mix of reasons. I went to Hajj once. I probably won't go to Hajj again. If I have my own reasons. But when I go to Umrah, it hurts. It just hurts. When I see people doing tawaf and taking selfies, you're there and you're still worshiping your own image. That's how I call it. I know some people are offended by that. I don't care. I don't care. You're in Allah's house where you're supposed to forget that the outside world exists. If Allah wanted you to be interested in the world, when you come to His house, He would have put the Kaaba in Hawaii. He would have put it in California, nicer weather. He would have put it in some resort island. He put it in the middle of a desert. Not a tree grows there, man. Burning heat. What is He telling you? Forget the world and come here. Don't come here to be a tourist. Don't come here for yourself. Come here for your Rabb. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. You come answering your call. You're dressed in the clothes you're going to be buried in. You're rehearsing when we're standing in front of Allah in the haram. You know what an Arafah? You know what that is, right? That's a convention every year, which is a rehearsal for Judgment Day. Because we're going to stand in front of Allah on Judgment Day. And you're going there and you're like, yeah, I'm at the Kaaba right now. Check this out. Make dua for me, guys. You don't need idols to worship anymore. Yourself is enough. The worship of self.